Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of my 200 subscribers celebratory Q&A video session things. I remember Red Panda, and today I have 2 more questions for you guys. I've gotten a few more since yesterday, so I think I have enough for the week, but if you guys still have more, I will answer as many as possible, and if I for some reason cannot answer them in this week, I will save them for the next time that I have a Q&A, and I have a rough idea on when that will be, so that's exciting. My 2 questions today are sort of go back to the very beginning of my channel. So I sort of put them together, and that is why they are today's questions. So today's questions are from MSKI361, and they ask, I know I've watched Comic Time Zero, but I don't remember if you ever said what made you decide to join the YouTube community and start making videos. The answer to this is sort of, I don't know, strange in a way. I decided around January last year that I wanted to start making videos. I didn't know anybody that read comic books at the time, and so I didn't have, like, I was reading all of these things and I had no one to discuss them with, or, you know, no one to get excited with me. Like, I've talked to my friends about it and they just kind of looked at me like I was an alien or something, and I was just like, no, like, get excited, like, Doc Ock is Spidey now, like, everyone has to be excited about that, it's gonna be awesome. And they're just like, who? Like, what does that mean? It's very frustrating. So I decided that I was going to start making videos because, I don't know, I would just sit in my apartment and just sort of, I wouldn't have discussions with myself, but I would openly voice my thoughts on things out loud, and I was just like, I could just do this in front of a camera and then put them on YouTube or, I don't know, somewhere, and then other people who read comics could hear them, and then maybe I could talk about it instead of just talking about it. I could have a discussion with somebody, and it would be a lot better than me just sitting here like, oh, this is a really cool issue. I really wish that everybody else knew this was a cool issue. Well, no one's gonna know if you don't say anything. So I waited a few months. I sort of plotted everything and got everything all figured out and how I was gonna do it, and then I did it. So March 22nd, I believe, was the day that I posted my first video, and ever since then I've been doing, I have not missed a week on Comic Time. Sometimes I'm late and sometimes I don't have comics to show you, but I've been every single week since I've done it, and that's really important to me because I don't want to miss a week of that. Like, I know sometimes I slack with reviews and other videos, but I didn't want to miss a week of that because I'm like, no, if I start missing, then I'll be able to make excuses as to why I can't do it. So even whenever I'm not in the best mood, like I have been in a couple of the episodes, I still make myself do it because I think that it's important that I do it every week, because I don't know, and I don't want everyone to, I don't know, in my mind, like, I don't want people to worry, especially like after the vlog that I posted about passing out in the comic book store. Like, I don't want people to worry. Not that I think that they would, but in the event that they did, I don't want that to happen. So yeah, so I don't know, I make videos so that I don't just sit in my apartment and talk to myself or to my rabbits, because they don't care about comic books, they just care about food. So I just wanted to talk to people, and the outcome of it has been amazing. Like, I really didn't expect to get a view on my video in the first day that I posted it, and I think I had a view within 5 minutes, and that was not something that I expected. I was like, how did this happen? Like, how did people find my videos? Like, that's something I should ask all of you, is how did you find out about me? Because I don't know how that's possible. It's so strange, because if you knew me in real life, you would know that I'm not a social person. I don't talk to strangers. I get anxiety about talking to strangers unless I'm in certain situations where I know I'm going to have to. I'm quiet until you get to know me and all of that. And so whenever people found out that I was making these videos, it was so strange. Like, the look on people's faces, it's priceless. It's like, that's not her. That's not her at all. So I think it's going to be helpful. I mean, at conventions and things, I am social, but for me to go up to somebody, it is a little bit out of my comfort zone and everything. So hopefully with this, it'll be better. I don't know. I'm like this. It's just not with strangers, and like, to me, YouTube is just a big thing of strangers. Like, until we have conversations and have good times, it's all just strangers. So it was really weird. Like, if you follow my Twitter, the first episode of Comic Time, I was surrounded by like an entire room of stuffed animals staring at me because that was the only way that I could talk to my phone and make a video, is to have things staring at me, because that was my audience. Like, I couldn't just talk to a phone, and now I have Norton and I have like my Panda salt and pepper shakers on my table, and that's it. Like, that's there. Norton's not even here today. Like, he works one day a week and sometimes not even that. So he'll be here on my video tomorrow though, because I'm gonna make him. He's gonna have to work on Christmas. That's all I'm gonna say. Bunny doesn't have an excuse. So yeah, I started making videos so that I wasn't just talking to myself, and so in hopes of people watching them and you know, inspiring somebody to read a comic that they may not have, or learning something myself about something that I didn't know. So that's sort of why I did it, and that's the answer to that question. My second question for today is from Oddfellowsthoughts, and they ask, where did you come up with the idea of giving out cupcakes for ratings on books? And the answer to this is, I don't know, to me it's interesting, but whenever I decided to do that, I really didn't know how it would go. I in my mind, I thought it would be an awesome thing, but then I was like, I always have weird ideas and people always sort of ridicule me sometimes for the things that I think. So I don't know if it'll be a good thing or a bad thing, but it'll be something that nobody else does in their videos. So I'm gonna go with it because that way it makes me unique. So I decided that cupcakes would be the best thing. Like, I make all kinds of stuff throughout the week. Like, I make cookies and cupcakes and all kinds of other baked goods and non-baked goods all the time. My friends, like, I always make them no-bake cookies because that's like their favorite. And I make everybody else, like, I don't know, I make everything. So I've done that. Like, I've like cooked and stuff since I was really young. Like, one of the first things that I ever did was write out a macaroni and cheese recipe for my mom, and she still has that. It's like one of the few things from my childhood that like she still has in like her little recipe thing. And I don't know, like, it's always been like a part of me. If I get really, really, really upset, like, I bake. And one time I made like 140 dozen cookies in a day, and I gave them all out. Like, I rarely keep any of the stuff that I bake. I always take it somewhere to get rid of it because, you know, a big batch of cookies, and I'm just one person, like, it would take me forever just to eat them, just because, one, after a day I forget that they're even there. And I don't know. So I make these cupcakes, and I have three different sized like cups to make them, and I was just like, this would be really cool to, you know, make these cupcakes, dedicate them, I guess, to things, and then, you know, it shows off, you know, kind of other interests that I have in baking, and then I don't know, it just sets my videos apart because, as far as I know, nobody else has cupcakes in their videos. I really didn't think it was gonna go over. I was expecting comments and things like, oh, this is stupid, like, whatever, and it's been the opposite. So I appreciate that. And I do take these to conventions. Like, at Comic-Con, I took 6 dozen cookies with me, and I gave them out to the different writers and artists and just random people that I was in line with. And everyone seemed to appreciate it, and as far as I know, everybody ate them and it was delicious. Actually, the artists and stuff, I got a lot of compliments on bringing them food because it's not something that, you know, anybody else does, and they don't get a lot of time to go and eat, and so they were hungry throughout the convention, and it was nice to be able to have like this little snack before, you know, they were able to go and get food. So I guess, word to the wise, if you guys ever want to like get in with people, bring food to conventions because they really appreciate it. That wasn't something that I was expecting. Like, whenever I decided to bring cookies to Comic-Con, I was like, oh, this isn't gonna go good. Like, you know, we live in a society where it's sort of looked down upon to bring baked goods to school and to everything else because, oh, well, you don't know that person. They could put like cyanide in it or something. And so people don't usually like to accept baked goods from strangers, but I made sure, you know, the people that I was planning on giving it to, I sent them messages on Twitter, and I was like, hey, if I, you know, bake you some cookies, would you eat them? And they were all like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, I would definitely eat those. So it's nice to know that I am not viewed as suspicious in the comic book world. So I don't know, that's why I started doing cupcakes. You know, they're around anyway, and I just thought it would be cool. And it also like keeps me doing it. Like, sometimes I get in a thing where I don't like to bake, and if I don't necessarily feel obligated, but if I just feel like, you know, it has a purpose, then it makes it easier, and it helps, I don't know, it helps me with my emotions and my feelings. I don't know. So that's why I do that, and I don't know, I feel like everyone appreciates it, and if I could, I would totally send, like, all of my 200 and I think 5 subscribers or whatever I have now, I would totally send everybody cupcakes and cookies, like, for holidays and stuff, but one, I don't have all of your addresses, and two, I don't know, I feel like that would be not a good idea. I've sent cookies, overseas, and they've made it, but cupcakes I can't even send to Florida. Like, they get destroyed. I've tried. It's not a fun time. But they still taste good afterwards, but they were supposed to be all pretty and rainbowy and stuff, and it didn't work out. So, I don't know. That's why I make cupcakes and put them on the show, because it's a lot easier to make cupcakes different sizes than cookies, and they're sort of three-dimensional, whereas cookies are flat. And I don't know, it forces my creativity side, like the Pocky cupcakes and the rainbow cupcakes, and I made these rainbow brownies once, and I really wanted to put them on the show, but I didn't, and they were so delicious, and they were so pretty. Prettiest thing I've ever made in my life, with those rainbow cupcakes and those rainbow brownies that I made. Good times. Might have to make some, like, in the next couple days now, because they're on my brain. And that's the end of my Q&A session for today, so I hope you guys like this video. You can still ask me questions in the comment section below, or Twitter or Facebook or any of that stuff if you want, and I will answer them as best I can whenever I am able to. And that's all I have, so I will see you guys tomorrow with that video. Bye!